Let me ask you a question. What was the last life-changing decision that you made? I know oftentimes we think it has to be the big decisions. It's the big move, it's a new relationship, it's launching a new business. But really, oftentimes, it's the seemingly little decisions that we make every day, sometimes unconsciously, that are actually making the biggest impact in our life. I want you to think about a ship that is setting sail from the harbor in New York and aiming to go to England. Well, if that ship is just 1 degree off on its course, it's going to end up miles away from its destination when it finally gets across the Atlantic. And the same is true in our lives. Well, my name is Lissa Figgins, and I help women like me by sharing tips for adding health to your mind, to your body, and to your skin, and also tools that will help you flourish. And today I want to share with you about a book that I'm reading that really has made me stop and think about those little everyday choices that I'm making and the difference they have in the direction that my life is going. So the book that I'm reading is called The Gift by Dr. Shad Helmstetter. Highly recommend it. And another book that I have recently read is called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And in that book, he talks about the impact that those little daily choices can have on our life and health. Take, for example, the woman who has an extra 100 calories a day, right? It doesn't seem like a whole lot, but over a year, that's 365,000 extra calories, which equates to about 10 pounds of fat. Anybody come to the new year and say, why am I 10 pounds heavier than I was a year ago? Oftentimes it's just those little daily choices that we're making. Or think about the average woman spends over 2 hours just scrolling through social media. Now, while social media can be very effective, and I'm very glad you're on today because you're listening to this, oftentimes we're spending more time on that than we really should be. And when you add that up, it's 730 hours in a year, which is about a month of time. Wow, what if she went down to just 30 minutes a day and really was intentional with how she spent that time and got back almost 3 weeks of time that she could spend intentionally on those things that were most important? It's those little decisions. It's the, what am I choosing to put in my mouth? How am I choosing to spend my time? A lot of those different things. So in the book, The Gift, Dr. Shad Helmstetter says this: it's often the seemingly insignificant choices that actually determine the success that we will have in our life. And he goes on to challenge us to stop and think about some of these daily unconscious choices that we're making every day before we make them. In one of his books, he lists 100 of them. So let me just share a few to get you started. What are your go-to foods? How often do you call your kids? How often do you smile? What messages do you choose to respond to or to ignore? How late do you stay up? How do you respond to someone or something that's frustrating? How do you spend your money? How do you take care of yourself? What do you choose to get done in the day? How do you spend your time on social? What do you think about the most? What's freeing for me is that the little choices are what's really going to make the biggest difference. And the fact that I get to choose that's super freeing for me. So the year that I turned 40, I was looking for some more choices. I was looking to be more intentional with my life and my health. And so I made a choice to do something different that was going to allow me to have those choices, not only with my health, but also with the way I spend my time and the priorities that I have in my life, instead of letting life just happen or other people choose those things for me. If that's something that you're looking for, you want some more of those choices and you want to be more conscious about those little decisions you're making in your day, let's chat. Head on over to my blog, which is lissafiggins.com. There's a blog post all about this. If you look up daily decisions, you'll find that in there. And then also there's a place where you can click for us to connect. So do that. Let's have a conversation. I would love to share some tips and resources that I found that have helped me to really stop and think about some of these little decisions and change the direction that my life is going. And if you think that this would be helpful for someone else, please share this with them, because the more people that we can help make more choices and do the things they really want to do, instead of getting to the end of the year, the end of the decade and saying, what just happened and why am I where I am? Let's not be like that ship that's way off course. Let's make sure that we have intention, and every day we're checking to see where we're at so that we know we're heading in the direction we want to go.